McIntyre.
Mr Speaker, anybody listening to the previous member's contribution on television or the radio will have done two things. The first is they will have turned the volume down, and the second thing is that they will have quite rightly concluded that the good folk of Waimakariri made a very sound decision at the last election when they decided they no longer wanted Mr Cosgrove as their Member of Parliament. Mr Speaker, it is a great privilege for me to represent the fine folk of Hamilton West in this House and to have served them in that capacity since November 2008. And, sir, I am now campaigning proudly for a further mandate. I'm hoping to be only the third member for Hamilton West since the seat was created in 1969 to secure a third term. It has the reputation, of course, of being the great bellwether electorate of New Zealand. And therefore I suggest to people that we look carefully at what is happening in Hamilton West when we decide, are we on the right or the wrong track? And, sir, the people of Hamilton West tell me that not only are we on the right track, they appreciate that we are getting the job done, that we are focusing on the things that matter to New Zealand, and that they want to see a continuation of the John Key-led administration. Sir, New Zealanders know that John Key and his team have governed New Zealand through the most challenging conditions that any government of this country has faced since the Great Depression of the 1930s. The impact of the global financial crisis has been immense, and one only needs to look at the countries in North and South America, Europe and most other parts of the globe to understand just how devastating the impact of the GFC has been in so many countries. And New Zealanders, sir, have done it tough through the recession as well. They know in particular that the reckless previous Labour-led administration spent like drunken sailors at a time when they failed to take any significant measures to grow the economy and therefore left this country deeply vulnerable when the good times ended and the GFC hit. And that, sir, is why they're so grateful for the leadership of John Key, Bill English and their excellent cabinet team. And they are scared witless at the prospect of a weak Labour-led administration with a Prime Minister whom even his own colleagues don't respect, being dependent on a volatile cocktail of extreme Greens who want to stop everything in its track, who oppose every possible measure for growth and development and prosperity, which would then be propped up by the billionaire poverty party, and goodness knows where they would take things and what the price of their support would be, and possibly 2 or 3 other combinations. What an appalling combination that would be for a government of this country. Sir, it is very important to get the economy right, because ultimately an economy is all about people, and it's about the impact of economic decisions on health and law and order and education and all those important areas where we are working to deliver public services of a first-class standard, and we are. So look at the record over the last 6 years where, with less money to spend, those people out on the front line in our public services have lifted their production, lifted their delivery of services, reduced waiting lists in our hospitals, boosted elective surgery, raised educational achievement, reduced crime, right across the board. Things are looking good. Why would you put that at risk, sir? This is a government that is getting the job done. And in Hamilton West, this is the message I get from my constituents. I believe quite firmly that they know that they must stay the course that we're on, and the evidence has been out just in the last few days when we've seen 3.8% growth in GDP, putting us right up there in the top bracket, above most of our trading partners. In the Eurozone, it's 0.9%. Here in New Zealand, it's 3.8%. So when we hear our opponents talking about increasing inequality or all the rest of it, they need to get beyond the rhetoric and look at the figures, because the figures show that income inequality is not increasing. It has flatlined. In fact, those people at the top end of the tax bracket have done it a little tougher in the respect of having to pay more of the tax. Most of my constituents now are paying only 17.5 cents in the dollar on income tax. And so, sir, this is a government that is getting it right, delivering for New Zealanders, deserves to be re-elected, and I'm proud to campaign for that end.
Speaker.
Order, Tracy Martin.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. In the next
Order.
few
I've
weeks...
called. Tracy Martin, your time starts again.
Thank you.